Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For this video, I'm going to be discussing the 30 for 30, the ESPN 30 for 30 documentary, Doc and Darryl, for Darryl Strawberry and Dwayne Gunn. And this film that just aired just last night, it was definitely one of the best documentaries you're going to see. And it focused on Dwayne Gunn and Darryl Strawberry's career, especially the downfall. Um, it's talking about how, for most of all of their careers, the Gunn and Strawberry both were on drugs and alcohol abuse. And it goes into pretty good details of it, especially with how when Dwayne Gunn was on the meds in '86, that's when he was in drugs. Before then, he was mostly alcohol abuse, and how he missed the ticker tape parade when the Mets won the World Series in 1986. The very next day, that's the 12 hours after the Mets won the World Series the night before, on October 27th, 1986. The very next day, October 28th, when they had the parade. Wish they had pushed back the parade one more day so I was able to see it. But there was a personal thing because I had a test in school, so I missed it. But McGurn missed it because he was strung out on drugs. Because when the Mets won the World Series in '86, he made two phone calls, one to his parents and another one to his drug dealer. And he spent practically the rest of the night after the Mets won the World Series at a drug den. And he realized he messed up. He didn't realize what time it was, and he missed the parade. And he actually watched his teammates on television, like millions of other people did, when the Mets had a ticker tape parade, and how he got released from the Mets and he went back onto drugs when the Mets released him, because he got suspended on April 1st, 1987. He got suspended for 2 months, and they cost the Mets the pennant in '87. Uh, because the Mets, how many games Gunn would have won in the first 2 months of the season if he wasn't suspended for drug use? And of course, when the next year he gave the home run to Mike Scioscia, which ruined the Mets' chances of getting to the World Series that year. And of course, it also told how he was actually a drunk beforehand. Dwight Gunn was for the first, at least for the first year or so, and then he turned to hard drugs and he got caught. I think at least twice he got caught with the Mets, and then of course when he decided to retire. So okay, now I don't have to worry about getting tested all the time, and he turned to drugs then, and he went to jail a few times for drug use, with drunk driving. Same thing with Strawberry, and their careers were pretty much connected because both of them were young ball players coming up with the Mets, and both got hooked on drugs, and they pretty much ruined their potentially Hall of Fame careers. And in Strawberry's case, not only was he on, first when he did get suspended, but he decided to go to alcohol rehab. And it was the same facility that Gunn went to when he was suspended in 1987. Just 3 years later, Strawberry went to alcohol rehab, and then of course he didn't resign with the Mets after the 1990 season because his contract was up then. He went free agent and went to the Dodgers, and he admitted that was the biggest mistake of his career when he signed with the Dodgers. But then he got diagnosed with, after he started to clean up his act a little bit, it was with the Yankees. He got suspended, I think, twice when he was with the Dodgers. He finally got released from the Dodgers because of his drug suspensions. I think he got suspended twice from the Dodgers, and he went nuts, and the Yankees signed him because Steinbrenner liked to stick it to the Mets. So when the Mets got rid of Gunn and Strawberry, along with David Cohn, of course David Cohn wasn't a drug addict, but Steinbrenner signed all three of them, and all three of them helped the Yankees win the World Series in '96 and '98, '99, and 2000. Helped the Yankees win championships, which really irked me and a lot of the Mets fans out there. But in '99 and 2000, when Strawberry was diagnosed with colon cancer, he thought he beat it. He had surgery. I think he had surgery for it, if I remember right. But then the cancer came back, and then he turned to he lost a kidney, and because he was having a tough time bringing the cancer the second time, he went right back to being a drug addict and alcoholic, and he also got arrested. He cleaned himself up. Strawberry cleaned himself more than Glenn did, and now Strawberry is having a minister now. Day minister. He has opened up a couple of rehab centers for people who are suffering from drug abuse like he did. At least they give Strawberry credit. At least he's trying to do something positive. Good looks like Good and still looks like he's still on drugs, because during the documentary they were filming a meeting between the two players at a diner in Bayside, which was the same diner that was used in the movie Goodfellas. Um, it looks like Good was still strung out or something, because he couldn't sit still for a minute. He kept moving around like this in the documentary, and it was really hard to see Glenn, when he came up, he was only 19 years old. To see him have the potential of being a great pitcher with the likes of Tom Seaver, maybe even better than Tom Seaver. It was hyped that way. And in Strawberry's case, was hyped as the next black Ted Williams. And it was really hard to see these two guys, not in careers, but in their lives, completely self-destructed. And when Gunn, particularly Gunn, because Gunn was caught first of the two of them, when Gunn got caught for drugs in 1987, I lost all respect for him, and didn't root for him anymore, or at least the same way, and never cheered for him, and never gave him a standing ovation when he came back, and didn't attend the game. His first game back in 1987, they attended that game, and they didn't even have tickets, actually. But I couldn't believe how many fans were standing up and cheering for him. Because if it wasn't for Good, the Mets would have won the pennant in 87, because he cost the Mets the pennant that year. Because how many games could Good have won in the first 2 months of 1987 if he wasn't suspended in rehab for drug abuse? But it was a really tough documentary. Well, all the documentaries that I have seen of the '86 Mets, in particular Glenn and Strawberry, it was really the toughest one to watch. I mean, it really was. It was really heartbreaking to see these two guys self-destruct from the addictions to drugs and alcohol. But at least in a way, I'm glad that Strawberry is trying to straighten out his life now. But Gunn, it looks like Gunn still hasn't really got the message yet how bad drugs are, and it looks like he still hasn't really cleaned up his act yet. Still really hasn't. But these two guys still give plenty of great memories for if you're having a Met fan or if you grew up during the 80s like I did, watching this team play day in and day out. But you know, at some point you gotta say it's not worth it, because these two guys self-destruct. They ruined their careers, and they ruined the Mets dynasty at that time for turning to drugs and being alcoholics and everything else. But one thing that I'm interested in it, which Glenn and Strawberry never admitted to it, and it wasn't proven in the documentary. My father believes to this day that Keith Hernandez, who was on drugs when he was with the Cardinals, my father always felt that Hernandez providing them with drugs. You know, in the mid and late '80s, which of course that wasn't true, and that never happened. Even Glenn and Strawberry never said that Hernandez providing them with drugs. They went to other people providing them drugs. Not Glenn. They didn't need Hernandez's help to get connections for drug use. To get the supplies for drugs. I was going to say to get supply with drugs. They didn't need Hernandez's help. Neither one of them. And that's what. And they didn't even bring up the Hernandez angle in the documentary. But I thought that the film was damn good. And I know that ESPN is going to repeat this thing a few times. If you haven't seen it, please check it out on ESPN. And won't be surprised if it's on YouTube already, or about to be on YouTube. I'm sure there's going to be some knucklehead who recorded uh, the documentary on ESPN and upload. I won't be surprised. I will not be surprised if it's on YouTube already. But that's my review of the 3 for 30 show, um, Doc and Darryl. Please click on the video, please rate it. Feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my videos, and not only on my YouTube channel, but at rowdyc.com. It's all WDY, rowdyc.com. The homepage of the Rowdy Reviewer. Please check out his website. Check out all of his content, not just his TV trash videos, but all of his other content. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.